Hey guys, Mark here. This will be video 2 for the restoration of the 80s Les Paul. And the other video cut off right at about 10 minutes. So I'm probably going to try to keep these videos around 7 to 10 minutes. And if anything, I may just do like 3 or 4 videos a night. So anyway, back to the next from the introductory video. We've already discussed how the Gibson profile is very sleek, very long, and my profile is pretty heavy and fairly chunky. Even though it's not finished, it would be worked down. Now you also see my tenons. I make my tenons extremely large because my theory is the neck is what's producing the sound. And there's a massive mahogany over here, and I'll eventually flip that guitar over and kind of show you how this all fits. But I like the idea of a very strong and very precise joint. And that's the first thing I noticed about this guitar, and even a lot of the guitars that I restored. Here, this is a 1960 Gretsch 6120. This is my personal guitar as well, but the old dovetail, which I love doing the dovetail, but it's so disheartening to pull these old guitars apart and see how sometimes they're pretty sloppy. The fit is not nearly as precise as you would have expected it to be. And I don't know if we discussed it, but most of my initial studies and the initial guitars that I was building were per Robert Benedetto specs. Now, I want to clarify, I've never met Benedetto, I've never worked for Benedetto, and there were some people out there that were under the impression that I used to work for him. I did not. I've never. He just had an incredible vocational series that I studied relentlessly and applied to my 30-some-odd years of working wood. So where I'm going with this is, this ain't a Robert Benedetto. And even though it's a Gibson, I was really shocked at how what's the word? I don't really know what to say. It was very forgiving. Let's put it this way. There was probably a little bit more glue in there than needed to be, and that's not how it's going to be when I build the new neck. Now, I will not be taking, I'll be taking a little bit of this thickness out, but it'll probably only be about a 1/16 of an inch. And I'm going to do the best I can for my European brethren out there. Every now and then I'll mention the metric as well, but please bear with me, and I apologize. Most of the times I'll be speaking in SAE terms. So about maybe a millimeter or so, maybe enough to take out the marks where your other luthier had to remove the neck. Speaking of that, I've already told you he did a great job taking it apart. Even though he knew these parts were not really usable, it's very cool to see that he took the time to